What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out and leave a comment and leave a like. Let's get into it. This situation transpired in Centinela State Prison on C Yard in 1997. As I've alluded to before, I was there then. It was a level 3. I was there on a parole violation, just serving a 1-year sentence. And I'm standing up against the wall with the homie Rambo from Insane and some other comrades. Here comes little man from Compton, and he's irritated, upset and frustrated, and he's in his stance and he's moving around like this. He has his fist balled up and his feet are moving some. A couple of more Compton Crips have walked up with him. They too are irritated and frustrated. And little man says to Rambo from Insane, I'm gonna tell you one time, I'm telling you now, bro, if the old man gets in our business one more time, we gonna smash the old man, bro, period. We gonna smash the old man. The old man that he's talking about is sitting down next to Rambo against the wall. At this time in Centinela, we used to be able to sit up against the buildings. When I was just there, we could no longer sit up against the buildings, even though it's excruciatingly hot at Centinela State Prison. It is unbearable. At any rate, I was in Chino with Rambo from Insane. Short, fat, light-skinned dude with glasses. He was cool, a good dude. He was my cellie for a while. He was making things happen in there. He was looking out for me. We were comrades. However, he was sort of big on the braggadocio. And I had a sneaking suspicion that he wasn't about really the life that he had talked about. He was an okay dude, a good dude. I just had the feeling that he wasn't as strong and as big in his hood as he portrayed. But I could have been wrong. Him and I, this was in 1996 and early 1997. We were both in Chino as cellies. Fast forward, in 1997, we left from Chino and went to Centinela State Prison. I forget, he didn't have much time either. I believe he was there on the violation. Chino at this time, on this yard, we used to be there. People who had parole violations would be there. Some would stay there. Some would be transferred to another prison. Rambo and I were there, eventually transferred. I forget who had got to Centinela first, him or I. But we are both now on the yard in Centinela State Prison. We both just got there. My cellie is a dude from Compton, Crips. I forget where he was from. One of the smaller sets and one of the lesser known sets in Compton. A light-skinned dude with braids, skinny. I took a liking to him. He was okay with me. He wasn't okay with the Comptons there, the Compton Crips. They did not want him on the yard. One day, him and I are walking around the track on the yard. We get to the bleachers. The Comptons call him over there to the bleachers. Limp from Compton is there. Light-skinned, tall with braids. I forget where he was from. I even forget where Lil Man was from. Lil Man was dark-skinned with long hair and used to wear his lokes out to the yard sometimes. Lil Man and I were in YA together, as he reminded me. Cisco from Santana Block, I was in YA or juvenile hall with him. He reminded me a few times. He was there on the yard. I believe he's now resting in peace. Someone told me he was unalive years ago. And again, this was in 1997. Cisco and I had some words there on the yard, but nothing ever came of it. So he and I were cool as well. So these are Slim. I believe he's from Nutty Block. He's missing a front tooth, tall, dark skin, has life in prison with waves. I ended up being in Salinas Valley with him as well. in 2008 and 2009, Slim. So these are some of the Comptons that are on the yard. A pretty strong car. Some of these characters are sitting there on the bleachers as we're approaching, and they call my celly over there and say, "Hey, check it out." And I forget what my celly name was. I forget, but they called him over there. This was in 1997. They called him over there to the bleachers, and Limp is the first one. Takes off on him, boom, 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 punches him in the face a couple of times. A couple of more Comptons jump in and start punching him in the face. And then they said, "Man, get off the yard. You got to get up off the yard, bro. Get your ass up off the yard." As they're punching him in the face. He's not swinging back. He's not fighting back. He's just kind of balling up and curling up. I'm just sitting there looking. I'm not from Compton. I know enough, even at this time, not to get involved in something that doesn't involve me or my car. Yes, he's my celly, but he's from Compton and I'm from Hoover. And I can't, now if it's another race or something like that, that's different. But I can't get involved in whatever it is, whatever their politics are. However, the old man that was sitting next to Rambo, he said, "Man, stall him out, man. Leave him alone." He was right there. He said, "Man, leave him alone, man. Woo, woo, woo. God damn, what y'all doing that for?" He know my celly from somewhere. Rambo knows his old man. The story's a bit convoluted. So Rambo knows his old man. Again, I know Rambo just from last year, from the year before. But Rambo knows the man is not that old. Little man, they called him an old man because he had gray hair, really salt and pepper hair, most of it gray, some black there. But maybe he was in his late 40s at the most. Had a little size on him, and, in his face, he did not look old. Just his hair really made him look a little bit older. So he's not necessarily he's not an old man. But for the purposes of the story, that's what little man called him. That's what I'll continue to call him, the old man. And so he got involved in that situation. And the Comptons then told him, "Man, watch out, bro. Get up out of here. Who are you? What are you talking about?" He had not been on the yard that long either. The old man is a non-affiliate. He does not gang bang. So he really has no right getting involved in gangland activities, gangland protocols, and politics. I don't even know why they are attacking my celly. And I'm staying out of it. And so he had inserted himself into their politics. And this is why they approached and they're upset. Every time you saw Rambo, you saw the old man. They used to hang out together real tough. And from time to time, I hung out with Rambo on the yard. This was one of the days I happened to be hanging out with Rambo. Sometimes the Long Beach car will be hanging out with us. I'll be hanging out with Rambo. The Long Beach car be with Rambo. My homies with us. My homie Trouble from 7-4 was on the yard. Cowboy from 7-4. Lil Lobo from 11 Deuce was my celly. He ended up leaving. Lil Frog from 7-4. Ace from 7-4. They was all on the yard. Some of them had left at this juncture though. But some of them are right there up against the wall with me when the Comptons, irritated and frustrated, approached and made that threat. And it was a threat. Lil man, again, was the one doing the speaking to Rambo. And he made it explicitly clear that if the old man got in their business again, they were going to smash him. These were his words. We're going to smash him, bro. He has no business getting into our business. We don't care if he know him. He don't know what's going on while we need him or want him off the fucking yard, bro. What's wrong with this dude? And Rambo, we know this your boy. Well, you better get a hold of this dude. The old man, he's just sitting there against the wall with his hands on his knees. He ain't saying nothing. He's looking a little nervous. He ain't said not one word back. And Rambo like, "Man, come on, cuz. This my boy. This my people, cuz." And that's how Rambo be talking, he moving back and forth and this and that. Little man is not impressed. He doesn't care about this. I know little man. He is a rider from Compton. He don't give a damn about this shit. Rambo is spewing and spouting about this guy being his comrade. Tell him to mind his business or else. Now, when he first came to the wall, he spoke to me. "Hey, what's up, China? Hey, what's up, bro?" And then he went straight in on Rambo. He knew that I hung out with Rambo, but he also knows I'm going to stay out of certain shit. It's none of my business. I don't know why this dude got involved in that. And so he's really doing the right thing, coming and letting Rambo know to tell his old man to stay out of it. Because they could have just smashed the old man right then and there. When we got back to the cell, my cellie tells me that, man, they just jumped me, man. Talking about I did something wrong in another prison, and I never did it, man. I ain't getting off the yard, though. I ain't done nothing wrong. This Compton, I'm from Compton, Crips. Woo, I'm one of them, bro. Woo, woo. Excuse me. I said, okay. You understand why I stood out of it, right? He said, yeah, of course, bro, I understand. Woo, I can't get involved in something that's not my business. The next day I go to the yard. Limp and Cisco and them tell me, hey, China, we're not telling you to get out of the cell with him. We can't tell you that. But we will tell you that he did some buster shit on the street and in prison before. That's why he has to get off the yard. I don't know what the story is that he's in there telling you in the cell. We will not come inside of the cell and remove him. We will not come inside of the cell and attack him because we know that you are in there, that you have your personal property in there. So even if you left the cell and was on the yard or something, at work or whatever, we still wouldn't run in there because your stuff is in there. And we don't know what you got in there, weapons or whatever. So if there was another Compton in there, it would be different. So we're going to take care of him out here on the yard. But, you know, you probably don't want to be in a cell with the dude anyway, bro. I'm just letting you know because he a mark. That's why we're getting him off the yard. That's why we attacked him. But we're not telling you that you have to move out of the cell with him or move out of the cell. We're not demanding any of that. Just, you know, you're our comrade, so we're just letting you know who it is that you're in the cell with, bro. And out of respect, we letting you know we finna get rid of this dude and the reasons why. So I said, okay, I'm out of there. I moved in the cell with my homie Spank from 107 Fresno Hoof, little short dude with braids. I moved in the cell with him. Like the next day or the same day, I got out of there. Wasn't none of my business. And I'm standing clear. And about 2 days later, now, it was also a dude on the yard named Pookie. I think Pookie was from Park Village. I'm not 100% sure. But Pookie was known for knocking people out on the yard. He had took off on a couple of his homies, broke a couple of jaws on the yard, constantly into it with the police. He was a young dude and wild. And on this particular day, a couple of days after all of these situations had transpired, the Comptons are on the basketball court playing basketball with some other blacks, just minding their business, playing ball. My ex-cellie, who had already been warned and taken off on and commanded and demanded to get off of the yard, is still, for some reason, thinking that he's a part of this car. He did tell me he wasn't going anywhere, that he's from Compton, and that he hadn't done nothing wrong. So he goes over there and starts to play basketball with them. With the dudes from Compton, they told him they wanted him off the yard. They didn't already attacked him a few days prior. And about 2 minutes into the basketball game, you looked up, you just heard a loud smack, and he was on the ground. Pookie then fired on him from the back and broke his jaw. My ex-cellie, he dropped him right on the court and broke his jaw. And he was on the court, laid out, not moving. The game had continued on. The tower hadn't saw it yet, so everybody continued to play basketball. Stepping over him. The game continued. But the old man was in the vicinity, and he saw his boy down on the ground. And he ran over there and started to try to help him up. Said, man, what y'all doing? What y'all hit him for? Once again, he intervened, inserted himself into gangland activities, even though they had warned him. He had a flagrant disregard for the threat that he had already received. They told him to stay away or we're going to smash you. They told Rambo, keep a hold of this dude, keep him away from our politics or we're going to smash him. No one listened. He went on the basketball court and was trying to wake the dude up and help him up and telling the people on the court, man, what y'all do that for? Woo! And like 3 dudes from Compton, they didn't say nothing. They just rushed him, rushed the old man and dropped him, beat his ass pretty bad. Only 2 of them that got caught. They beat him because they had already warned him to stand down, to stand clear. They were already upset with this one dude and wanted him off the yard. And they're now removing him. Their second attempt to remove him. Centinela, level 3, not many weapons are involved on this sort of yard. But they didn't broke his jaw and dropped him, knocked him out on the basketball court. For sure, he's leaving now. And the old man then got involved. So now the police run over there and they scrape the dude off the ground, my ex-cellie, take him to medical with his broken jaw and get him off the yard. The old man, with both of his eyes essentially closed and swollen, bleeding about the mouth area, needed assistance to get to medical from the police. And then they got him off the yard. Never saw neither one of them again. And that's what transpired, because he had got himself involved in a situation that he really had nothing to do with. I didn't get myself involved. Hell, I got out of the way because it wasn't my business. All I know is what the Comptons had told me as far as to why they were removing him from the yard, why they had attacked him and would attack him again soon. And this time, remove him. And that was enough for me. I'm not getting involved in it. I don't know what's going on. I just met this dude. He just happened to be my cellie as we're sitting here essentially on orientation. And then we came off of orientation. That's when we started hitting the yard. But then when that happened, I got out of there. I didn't know him. I couldn't have had his back against his own car, against his own homies. You would think that the older man, seasoned and having done time before, would inherently know not to interject himself into gangland protocols and politics. But he let his emotions guide him with someone that he knew and felt like he wanted to save. And so he inserted himself. And on the back end, he got broken up into pieces himself for not minding his own damn business. Something that we all must do in prison and even here on the street. If we want to survive and live out our lives, to its natural end, then you must mind your own business and don't get involved in things that do not involve you. That's just the way it is. It's the way I was taught. It's the way I was born and raised. That's the way it is in the world. They smashed him. They smashed the dude, man. But getting involved in a situation that he really should not have got himself involved in. That was it. That was in Centinela on CO. Lil Man and them. Cisco. Rest in peace of Cisco. And the old man, I'm sure he learned his lesson. He got broke up. I'm sure he learned his lesson. Oh boy, he should have left the yard when they first attacked him. Because then he ended up leaving with a broken jaw. Went over there to play basketball like shit was sweet. Like everything was gravy. But it wasn't. Sheesh. Stay free, people.